Hi.
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 Hello.
Hi everybody. It's been a minute. Sorry. This is our usual time, so I'm not gonna say sorry anymore.
About a month. 3 weeks to
3
a month.
weeks
It's
to a
like our
month.
normal upload schedule right now.
We'll keep you on your toes. It's been kind of uneventful, but that's okay. We can't really help it. I mean, so we were on the boat this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And first time we've been on the boat since the Mariners Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So wait a minute. Did we talk about that?
No.
No.
We didn't.
Okay. Alright. Let's
didn't
go
talk
right
about
into
the
it then.
Maritime Festival.
Highlight, lowlight. You first.
Okay.
Really? You didn't? Wow.
No. No, we didn't. Highlight, I guess, is we got to see a tall ship. That was cool.
Explain a tall ship.
So, for people that don't know, think of a ship from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Literally.
If people have seen it. I mean, this ship that we saw literally was from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is it the Intercept or the Interceptor?
The Interceptor.
Interceptor.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ship that Jack tries to steal in the beginning of the first movie. That's the ship that we were on.
So big.
Yeah, it was cool.
112 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
Over 400,000 pounds.
Something like that. Yeah.
2 400-gallon diesel motors.
Diesel tanks. Diesel tanks.
26 miles of rope.
Yeah. So
26
miles of rope.
It's a marathon. My friend made a joke. I think it was Amanda. She made a joke. Hi, Amanda. 26, it's a marathon of rope.
Yeah, marathon of rope. Really cool. It was, just different. I guess my low light is, I guess I kind of thought it was going to be more like the Constitution.
Which is where?
Which is in Boston. Which is more of it's more of a museum. It is still an active ship, but it is a museum as well. So you can go down below. You get a whole guided tour. All that kind of stuff. This was more of a think of it just like a giant ferry in a way.
A show and tell.
Yeah.
Everybody's allowed on board, and it's chaos.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to go down below because that's crew quarters and everything. Which is fine.
It was still cool. I still recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was still cool. I think it might be cool to do a little passage sail or something maybe.
Which they do.
Which they do, and it's not all that much money.
And they do dinner cruises or something.
Yeah.
So the thing about both of those, you kind of become part of the crew for that amount of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they kind of show you
the
little
ropes,
bit of stuff.
A little bit, and so yeah, it was cool.
But just a lot of people.
Yeah, so many people.
But the people, the volunteer guy that we talked to, he was really funny. It's just different than what he expected.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's all we'll say.
Yeah, it's just different. I mean, they're regulated by the Coast Guard too, so there's only so much they can do.
13 sails.
And they're on a schedule, so they run their motor constantly.
Yeah.
So that's just the kind of ship it is. It's not like the bark Europa, that is an actual sailing vessel. Granted, yes, it does have a motor, but you're going on voyage cruises and you're cruising
months.
The Antarctic, or you're doing ocean crossings. You're following the trade winds. You're on those. You get training. You are trained up, and the voyage crew, runs the ship and steer it and navigate and all that kind of stuff. Granted, there's a big price difference.
Yep.
You're paying if you want to do like an Antarctic cruise. You're paying.
Well, how long is it? It's like 3 months.
It's like 3.5 months, and I mean you're paying $14,000,
Per
$15,000
person.
per person. Granted, you're paying to become part of the crew,
And they're training
for those 3
you.
months.
They're paying for your food.
And that does cover room and board. Pays for your cabin, pays for your food, all that kind of stuff. But
it's just such a. I don't know the type of I understand the researcher.
mm-hmm.
Like, they welcome researchers. Like, I could see how, like, a school would sponsor that, of, like, a researcher from a college going and doing that. But, like, otherwise?
Yeah, it's kind of out of reach of a lot of people.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's, like, I understand that they do want to keep it, a certain level of, like, this is really not something to mess around with. Like,
yeah.
I just kind of, I wonder if they offer any, like, scholarships or anything like that.
They might.
I wonder. That would be
They might do something
helpful.
like that.
Not that I would probably do it, but just thinking. Just making it, more accessible for everybody.
Yeah.
Because, this happens all the time, where there's these people in the world that can do so much greatness, but they just aren't given the opportunity. And it's because of where they come from, unfortunately, and it's just sad. So, and that's something that, like, if we all end up living in the water, this is gonna be something we're all gonna need to know.
If it, turns into water world because, our ice caps melt. And
Speaking of which, what's your low light?
Low light? The smoke is annoying.
Well, yeah. Fires.
Wildfires.
The world is burning.
Because the world's burning.
Where's the nearest one right now?
There's still one in Washington. It's more affecting Eastern, though. It's not really affecting us. There's some fires up in the Yukon, and British Columbia is burning again. That's kind of what we're dealing with today.
But we had... So this isn't the Cascade fires? No. Oh.
No, this is British Columbia fires, I think.
Oh.
I don't think... I mean, this might partially be from the Cascades, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Our air quality right now is like 60s, probably 70s.
Up into the 80s, I think it's supposed to get today.
You can smell it.
I mean, Eastern Washington's even worse. It's like unhealthy to like hazardous air quality out there today.
God.
So it's one of those things of, I guess, we didn't really think about when we moved here. We're like, oh, wildfires are going to be a thing.
Yeah, but like, look at New York.
Yeah, like, New York was worse. It was... Yeah. Couldn't go outside.
We would have been fucked regardless. Yeah. But the thing is, we're on the water. We're with the salt air, so I think that's really helping.
I think it helps kind of diffuse it a little bit.
And the breeze, like, it was super windy yesterday, so that helped move it.
It was like 20, 25 knots of wind almost yesterday. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, we didn't go out.
Yeah. We were going to, but...
Dustin didn't feel good.
No, I didn't feel good. I don't know what that was.
He saw white caps later that day.
Yeah, it was...
in the distance, so...
It was pretty crazy. We're like, oh, good thing we didn't go out.
We don't need that again.
Yeah, no. One and done.
One and done with that.
Yeah, if we don't have to go out, we won't.
Yeah. And today was the first day of crabbing season, officially. So,
yeah. I think if crabbing would have opened on Thursday,
like it should have,
we probably would have gone out today. Because it still would have been chaotic, but I don't think it would have been as bad.
Okay, everybody, we have a brand new sponsor. So excited. Naked Wines. I know them very well. We know them very well. I remember the first time, when I was living with my mom still, we got a box, our first box of all the different wines that we picked. And we became the house with all of the wine. We think we had a subscription for a while, and we would have like all of these like little gatherings, you know, like family, friends. We just know we got the wine, it's covered, just bring the cheese. Like that. We were the place, all gathered in our little kitchen. So with our link, if you use our link, you're going to get $100 voucher. Hell yeah. $100 for your first box. Like, come on, that give me that. With our link, that's what you get. So go for it, guys. Enjoy. You can take a quiz, and it was really cool. I took the quiz, and it matched me with like all of these different wines. Some, like a lot of them I've honestly never even heard of. Like, we love wine over here, Dustin and I, but I've never really heard of a lot of these. There's chocolate wine. Did you know there's chocolate wine? Go for it. All right, use our link and you'll get that voucher. Have fun.
You know, but I think even then, I think it's going to be crazy for the next probably couple weeks, because everyone's been waiting for crabbing season up here.
Well, and then plus the smoke with the visibility. And
Yeah.
So, you know, we're just not meant, apparently. We gotta just getting used to being on the boat, like treating it like home.
Like a second home.
It's a weird mindset to get into.
It is.
Are you all done?
I think so, yeah. Because
Okay.
I'm going to keep rambling if you don't go, so.
Well, I had a highlight. I don't know if this really counts as a highlight, but I'm counting it. My dream. I had a really good dream this weekend. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday night. That we got our slip in Friday Harbor, and it was like, you're so funny. Like, because when I told you about it, you asked me, like, what was the weather like? And I guess I had thought about it, but I love that you're getting into it. Like, you psychic freak. Like, predicting the future. It was, like, kind of warmish. We weren't in jackets. Like, you had short sleeves on. His hair was short.
For those who don't know, it's really long now. I haven't cut it since we moved.
And it was slip number 48. So then, of course, I look up the number 48, and it's, oh gosh. I
asked you.
Yes,
I don't.
you did.
I don't know if you were gonna look it up, but I was
wasn't.
like,
You're like bouncing off of me with
I was like, angel numbers. I'm like, I wonder.
Yes, you're right. You were like, what does that mean? Like, oh shit. Because I had been thinking about looking it up. I was like, do I go that far? Yes. We're enablers.
Yep.
So, it's like intention setting or something, like something along the lines. And I know there's a lot of different interpretations of different numbers, but I look at one book and I don't really venture past that. It's too much work to do that. One source. Not that that's good or bad. It is what it is.
Just how it is.
Yeah.
It's easy.
It's like the pathways are clear for what you've been asking for. Something like that. And kind of like get ready to get what you want. So,
well, we're not ready, but
that's what I mean.
We can...
Like when we were sitting up top, like talking about it, I was just like, I don't think we're ready yet.
Not yet. Getting there.
I don't know why. And I don't know if it's more of like a safety we're saying that. Like, we're not ready and we don't want to be ready because we don't know when it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think maybe it's kind of nerves too. Like, we're going to keep telling ourselves we're not ready when we may actually be. Because we're just not, like, we're comfortable on here, but
There's still way.
And to be honest, I don't, not to steal your
Go ahead.
thing,
It's all
but
good.
I don't really know if we really will truly be ready. I guess in a way, because like staying on here on the weekend and living on here every day are two different things, you know. And I think regardless of even if we come down every weekend till it gets too cold and we don't want to walk down here, I think it's still gonna be a change. It's gonna be totally different in a good way, but just we're this will be our home. This will be the space where we have to fit all of our shit. And we're gonna have to get creative, which is fine. I was been thinking about rant. Today is gonna be a rant day. I'm already just throwing that out into the wind. I was thinking about your hammock idea. And I think we really could put hammocks, like a couple of them. Like,
explain.
So, it's really hard.
We don't have videos, and we're not going to be on YouTube. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, I've been thinking about maybe doing like a quick little boat tour reel. Maybe.
With underwear lying around?
No, not right now.
Okay.
But like at some point. Just so people can understand, like, what we're talking about. Because they're like, oh, what do you mean small space? I mean, it's only a 30-foot sailboat, people. It's probably...
Yeah, what's the living space?
I'd say the living space is maybe...
This square.
Maybe 24 feet? Maybe?
And then it's how many foot wide? It's 11?
It's 11 feet wide. So it's a little, probably around... little over 250 square feet. Maybe a little bit less.
That's just inside.
Mm-hmm.
So then, we have the decks. We can sit outside, drink our coffee. We have our little table that folds out from the binnacle. So that adds more, of course, but it's got to be nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Yeah, where were the nets going to go?
So I was thinking, like, kind of on the roof, or like the like ceiling of our cabin, right? We have these grab rails that go, I'd say probably more than halfway down. But I was thinking of putting eye hooks maybe a little bit farther, like even maybe over the kitchen a little bit. And then hanging in the hammocks, like hanging a couple hammocks along the rails.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I think we talked.
I
about
think
this.
we talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we won't. It's tall enough where we don't hit.
Yeah, where we're not gonna hit them. Just that's the one thing with living on a boat. I think we'll bring out our creative side a little bit, and because it's such a small space.
Side.
We're gonna have to.
And we're not dumb. Like, we're going to downsize our shit.
Oh,
yeah. We're going to give so much away. So many clothes. Again. I mean, I've already accumulated. So
yeah,
bad.
I mean, we're going to have to dwindle it down to...
Once again.
Dwindle it down again. To probably, like, one duffel bag. For, like, each of us. And, like, that probably be it.
Okay.
Yeah. If we can. I mean, we're not really... It's either that or we get a storage unit.
Well,
in Friday Harbor.
But, like, winter stuff. Winter stuff is heavy. So we had talked about, like, putting bins...
back in the quarter berth.
Yeah. For, like, whatever season we're not in.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Yeah, because we could even do, get, like, a bigger... Yeah, we are now brainstorming. Get like a bigger bin, and we get, like, the express... The sealable... The vacuum seal bags.
Mm-hmm.
And we can actually seal them, not like what we had done at Woodridge, where they weren't actually we didn't actually pull all the air out of them.
Yeah.
But if we actually pull all the air out of them, we could probably stack them in like a big bin, just have them stacked.
Mm-hmm. We'd love to hear other live aboard people's ideas,
suggestions.
We'll put up a poll. No, we won't.
We
but
probably won't.
I'm my low light. Let's see. What was the highlight? Oh, in my dream. uh so that just kind of like made me feel like, okay, I know things are working behind the scenes and we still have our own work to do mentally. I'd gotten in this mindset of like, we need to do everything ourselves, like grow our own food and all this stuff, but it's not really possible on a boat. You can only grow so much. Like, yes, I can grow some microgreens, but that's not enough to feed two people. I mean, it's just tough. So reconciling with that whole idea of wanting to do that, but then also being like, okay, being realistic, and then kind of balancing it out with, okay, so if we're not living in a house or on land somewhere taking up space, we're just in the water paying little to no, barely any rent compared to the norm. We're really, you're using less resources and taking up less space. So that's leaving a smaller footprint in general. So I guess, it's kind of balancing it out. I mean, we had talked about wanting to, like, get some type of land eventually and growing our own stuff, but, like...
And we're just taking up space that someone
and
else
then we're
could
paying
use, I guess.
taxes on that land. And we're not paying property taxes here. Like, it's just those little things that, like, why bother? And, like, farming, gardening, it's not our thing.
No, not really.
It's just not. Like,
it's a lot of work.
I'm growing things, but it's really, it's hard. It's just hard. Not to say I'm not gonna keep doing it. I'll grow things that I find interesting and want to try and grow. Like, I'm still trying to freaking grow this lavender. I want to make soap, like some liquid soap with it. And my farmer friend, I told her I had put some like pepper seeds from the actual pepper when I was cutting up a pepper one time. I put them in our little pots and tried to grow some. It's just like, you're gonna have to, like, she's like, you're gonna have to split those up, right? Because they can't, like, all grow in that little pot. I was like, oh. It's just stupid stuff like that. Like, things get so big, and I don't know. So, just figuring that out, and just deciding what our priorities are really going to be, and what we want to give and take and put out into the universe. Like
So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of really, I'm not picky with what I wear per se, but I really like to show off what's inside and put it outside with what I wear. I really like to display my personality, how I'm feeling during the day, whatever day, and put that into what I wear. So I really like Happy Earth because they have all these different styles, and they have athleisure wear now, which, I mean, I live in. All of their products, they're organically made materials. They have a whole plant-based athleisure line now. I mean, their sweatshirts look really cozy. We do have a blanket from them. It's really, really pretty. I mean, just very, like, tribally, and just it goes with just, like, our life. So with our code Third Eye Sailing, you can get 15% off your order. And by the way, every order you make, you can choose what your order partially goes to. So you can plant 15 trees, you can help save polar bear efforts, you can pick up a pound of trash. I mean, you know your money is going towards something good, but you're getting something cute in return. This is a good deal. We really like them over here. And, you know, fall is coming, people. Fall. And you want to be cozy. So get yourself a sweatshirt, get yourself a blanket, and get a cute sports bra. That's reversible, because I think they have those. I think I just saw those. They have a reversible something. Lots of reversible things going on. It's the new thing. It's back. Reversibles. Go for it. Third Eye Sailing, 15% off. Support the show. Thanks, guys.
Like the whole bread thing. So, like, we haven't really been eating a lot of, like, bread or tortillas or anything like that because, well, we were going to try and make it. And if we can't make it, we're not going to eat it. So, we had tried to make tortillas. That didn't go well. So, like, what do you...
10-minute rule.
Yeah, 10-minute rule. That's
10-minute rule.
If it doesn't work in 10 minutes, nope, not doing it.
Not worth it. Which some people say, oh, it just means you're not trying hard enough. Well, I don't have time.
Yeah, and it's different
Or
when
the
you have a
patience.
full kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, we need to not be in our little space, little galley there for very long, or we'll go crazy. There's just not enough room to do all this crazy fancy cooking. Maybe people will argue with us and say, you can cook everything. Well, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not... Not saying it's impossible, but we're not doing it.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're not gonna adjust the way we live, because we definitely are. It's just... That's what I'm saying. Like, in what ways are we going to adjust and not? So...
Yeah. I mean, I could see, like, you know, whether we end up doing the market in Friday Harbor every weekend or however we're going to do that. But I could see, like, I mean, they have, like, a big produce stand. I could see us getting all our produce from there, right? You know, supporting, like, the local farmers and stuff. And getting as much as we can local before we go to the store and get stuff. Yeah. You know, and I mean, I could even see it of where, you know, maybe we don't... well, we're going to have to figure out if we're going to have space for enough food for a week. You know, I mean, I'm sure we probably will. We'll just have to figure out where we're going to put everything.
I feel like we eat less than the typical
I think we
couple.
do. I think we really do. People are always shocked when we say how much we spend on groceries. They're like, you
it's
really?
Crazy.
That's it? Like, we're not pigs. Like,
but, like, it's so funny because we feel like we're, like, mongrels.
Yeah.
Like, we eat, like, so much, but we...
really don't. You spend, like, under $100 normally.
Every week.
Like, every week on food. And then, like, I talk to, like, my parents who are, like, by themselves, and they spend, like, way more than that. I'm like, what are you eating?
Yeah.
Like, how much food are you buying? You know, I think...
It blows my mind. And your friends, like...
yeah.
It's just crazy. So, I don't know. I guess we're doing something right.
I guess so, yeah.
Low light. Well, there hasn't really been many super highs or super lows the last couple weeks. It's just been... I know, we complain about this a lot, but it's been hot.
It really has
It
been.
was really, like...
It was like 85.
And we do have a fan at our place now, which hopefully we will be able to take on the boat.
Oh, I think so.
It's one of those, like, tall...
Yeah, I was gonna measure. See where we can put it.
It's a bladeless. Yeah.
It's just like a little tower, like oscillating tower fan.
Yeah, I think it would be good in here. But yeah, so that helps. But God, it's like 80s, like high 80s, but
So
not even. Like here, it could be
here,
78
and feel like it's 60.
85.
Yeah. 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 No. I know where you're going. But like even like on the boat this weekend, like it was 75 yesterday, but it didn't feel like it was
No,
75
that
here.
sun is like
It's so
it's a
hot.
ball of fucking fire,
Yeah.
literally, and I think we're closer to it somehow.
I think we are.
which
I
is
don't know.
so confusing.
It's weird. Because it's cooler here too. It's not like we're in like the equator, you know, where it's hot all the time. So I don't know. It's just weird.
So that's been just like we didn't really do much. We didn't really leave because you're just freaking hot, and it's not like it's humid,
No,
but
just hot.
and it makes you tired.
Mm-hmm.
Like no motivation. I have been painting rocks. I painted rocks last night with our neighbor friend here, and we played Scrabble. That was fun.
That was fun.
It was a good time. Dock parties.
Yeah.
Our neighbor wants to start a YouTube channel. What did he call it? I can't remember. So stupid.
It was something stupid. Chair time.
Chair time.
Or
yes.
or something goofy.
So, yeah. I mean, it's gonna start cooling down though, and you know, hopefully fall, we've heard, is when the winds start picking up here. So hopefully there'll be good sailing, really good sailing soon. Not too rough, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm excited, and I'm so ready for fall.
Me too. I'm tired of being hot. This is my one like
We always get
pet
to like
peeve.
this month. Like August.
August is
even
it's
July,
always the
like
hottest,
mid-July, we get to there and it's
Just
like
done.
fuck this.
Just done. you can put on layers. You can only take off so many. And then it's like
You're naked.
yeah, and
yeah,
and sweaty and gross. And just
yeah.
I just don't like it.
I think that's just like where can you go where it's not like that? Alaska. Antarctica.
like
livable
anywhere
places.
like anywhere like northern, like north of 70
Here.
degrees latitude,
Maybe we'll end up in Alaska.
I don't know. I could see us going there in the summers, maybe,
Yeah,
and then like come back down here in the winter.
that'd be cool. We could have a slip here and in Alaska.
Or if the boat's set up for anchoring, we just kind of, the summers is when we just anchor out and we go up to Alaska and anchor out and go explore and, because I mean there's stuff, but like there's not a lot, and it's got the highest cost of living of any state because everything has to be trucked up to it, and it's just everything's so expensive.
Yeah, for the longest time I thought Hawaii was the most expensive, but nope.
No, Alaska. Like someone was saying, like a 12-pack of beer, like normal, like Corona or whatever, that's like $12 here. It's like over 20 up in Alaska.
Oh,
It's like insane.
that's
Everything
nuts.
is just insanely priced up there.
Wow.
I don't even know why. Like, I mean, like, so like I have a coworker that I used to work with. Him and his partner they just moved up to Anchorage. That's where she's from, and it's I get it, but like I'm like the cost of living is just insane. So,
Ugh.
plus there's only one road in, and only one road out. So, yeah.
Well, I have a couple things here. So, going back, because we didn't really talk too much. We kind of teased about it, but our trip back to New York. We can't say too much, but I will bring up a irrational complaint with flying.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. You might have your own.
Well, you go first.
So, I think it was on the way back. At one of our flights, our seats weren't together, which we're like, okay, it's fine. So, like, we didn't make a big fuss. We
No.
didn't ask anyone to move. Can I sit with my husband? No. That's my complaint. Those people, you know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You can be apart from your partner for a couple hours.
It's not gonna hurt you.
It's okay. I promise. If the plane goes down,
You're all dying anyway, so what does it matter, right?
I just can't with those people.
Oh,
Like,
so
but like, even somebody. Oh, wasn't it a TikTok video you showed me? There was a guy telling a story about.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He had a window seat, and there was a mom and her kid sitting next to him, and the mom was like, "Can you switch with my son so he can have the window seat?"
It's like, no.
He's like,
I
no.
paid for this seat.
Yeah, I
like,
specifically paid for this seat
Yeah.
so I could have it.
Yeah. So no.
And she
Wouldn't stop.
she
the whole
raised a
flight.
fit. She called stewardesses over,
Yeah.
complaining, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You twat.
Frickin' people, man.
My son is gonna have a fit. Well, I'm sorry, not really.
Yeah, then you should have bought him the window seat.
Oh my god, I can't with people. So, yeah. I just... there's, the world is separated with those people and the other people. Like, there's only those two.
Yeah.
You're that person or you're that person. And there's no middle.
Yeah, it really
You're
isn't.
either gonna ask people to move their seat that they paid for, or you're just gonna let it go.
Yeah. Just be like, okay.
We are not part of that other group.
Yeah. Like I think you were sitting farther up. I was all the way in the back, but you were farther up, and I just brought her to her seat and said, "All right,
Yeah,
love
bye."
you. See you in 2 hours."
Yeah. Stick your freaking headphones in and
Yeah.
just relax. It's what you do anyway
Mm-hmm.
when you're sitting together. God. All right.
Okay.
Your turn.
My irrational complaint also has to deal with flights. Airlines, if you're listening, I know you're not.
Oh no.
But
We'd love a sponsor. But...
yeah, no. Don't cancel a flight like an hour before you're supposed to be at the airport. And then also, why the fuck does it take 3 days for us to have a new flight to get home? Because there's no flight that would get both of us all the way across the country. Like, what the heck? The heck, people? It ruined our whole mood. It just, not that not spending time with family is great, yeah, but it was extra days that we weren't planning on being there.
Yeah.
And
it changes your whole... It throws you off completely.
Oh, yeah. I was just, okay, just sitting here, not,
Like, I was supposed to be home.
and,
My own bed.
yeah.
And our own kitchen.
So, yeah, that just kind of threw a wrench in the whole end of the trip.
And it was there was a storm.
Mhm.
It was that Thursday, and it was all across the U.S. There was a storm.
And that's the crazy part. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, there's a storm. I guess I don't quite get why it was canceled unless there was a storm in... Because we were supposed to go through... We were going to go through Philly and all the way to Seattle. So, unless there was a storm, like, in Seattle, I mean, you're flying above the weather. So, I guess I don't see why it was canceled. We never really got a why. Like, a rhyme or reason why they canceled it. They just freaking canceled it.
So then, do you take that as... Okay, was it crew? Couldn't
Maybe.
Because we almost didn't have enough crew.
Yeah, for when we went from...
North Carolina.
Was it Charlotte?
Yeah, it was Charlotte. Yes. We were waiting for the crew. Because they got stuck. They got stuck
Yes.
in Delaware. Baltimore.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because our new flight was we flew to Charlotte, and then we flew Charlotte to Seattle, and Seattle to up here to Bellingham. And
So that's half of it.
Yeah,
Like, nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
Either. Like, there's just not enough people to, like, be on call.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it was even flight crew. I don't know if it was runway crew or what it was. Everything was delayed, but the only flight that left on time was our Rochester flight. Like, our other two flights were delayed. Like, one of them was, they had no idea, really, when we were going to, they're like, oh, you're going to leave at midnight, we're going to leave at 1 a.m., and I think we actually left at, like, it was a little past midnight by the time the plane took off. Mm-hmm. And by the time we got home, it was almost 2 a.m. Monday, I think.
Yep. That sucked. Oh, that sucked. Yes, and, we chose to move across the country, and our family is still on the other side partially, but it should, there's just...
It's just ridiculous.
It's just a shit show no matter what you do. Like, and it's not like, even if both of us could drive, that we would drive across the country. I don't think we would. Do you think we would?
No.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe like once.
Yeah.
Just to do it.
Yeah, just to say, hey, we did it. But I mean, we would take our time.
Yeah, it would be more of let's like a trip.
Just like we're gonna do with like when we go up to Alaska the first time. We're not gonna rush it. We're gonna take time. Yeah. And take maybe a couple months to get.
And that'll be when both of us are able to take that time. That's the thing. We keep saying it.
When the podcast
we run
makes
into
us
it.
Money.
Yeah.
Manifesting. You have to just manifest. Manifest becoming, not even viral, but just make money and have this be our thing.
And we want to be able to sail when we want to sail, and
and not be on a schedule.
You can't. You can't.
Really can't be.
we couldn't go out this weekend, so we can't go out again until
Labor Day weekend.
Because next weekend the tides
aren't in our favor.
Opposite direction.
Well,
it's going to be low to high all day.
Yeah. So so it
low.
technically would be in our favor if we wanted to leave at 2 a.m. and go out and sail.
If you're a mole person.
And go with the tide, but. I know there'll be people like, well, tides don't... They do when you're in a sailboat. Power
they
boats,
do
tides
here,
don't
too,
care.
especially. Maybe not in the Caribbean, but here, they do make a big difference.
I mean, I think we're out of king tide season, but, I mean, there was a couple weekends, it was, like, I think when we went to Susha, it was almost a 12-foot difference.
Yeah.
In tidal range. That's huge. And I guess we could just say, hey, we don't really care. But even just getting out of our slip, I mean, if there's any sort of current, it's just a shit show trying to get out of here. And we've already messed up once or twice, and I'd rather wait and be as safe as we can about it than, fuck other people's boats up. So, yeah, and I also look at it as, kind of with other things, we're not going anywhere. The boat's not going anywhere, right? It's not like we need to get all our sailing in. We're gonna die in 2 years. It's you
said that yesterday. We have all this. Time.
We have all this time. And
it's not like we have to learn how to sail before we move to Friday.
Yeah, and I think we kind of have the basics down.
Mm-hmm.
And, we'll get out as many times as we can get out. And, maybe it's the way the universe is saying, hey, kind of get your feet wet and get your sea legs, get used to the boat. And then when we move to Friday Harbor, we can just start taking long weekends. Or there's even, there's that bay right across. Jennifer was even talking about it last night. Okay. She's like, well, there's that bay that's right across from Friday Harbor. That's great to go anchor because it's secluded. I forget the name of it.
All right. Well, it's only 45 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
not even.
Like a motor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the closest we can go anchor out is literally 4 hours away right now.
And we could go sail, but realistically, we have to get. Well, I don't mind going out there, setting a tack, and just cruising one direction, for so long. But I guess at the same time, I mean, it takes, what, almost 45 minutes to just get out to where we can raise sail. Not that I'm complaining about it. It's just how the marina is here. You know, we got to get out. We got to get out through the channel. You know, and then we got to get out far enough.
Because you don't want to be moseying in a channel. Like, you just don't. It's not safe.
You know, and we have the Strait of Georgia right here, too, so it does get a bit... you know, like yesterday, there were probably 4 or 5 foot waves out there yesterday. I mean, you know, we have the Strait of Georgia right here, so when that wind comes whipping down through it, this whole area gets really choppy. Where, like, in the islands, you have the islands to kind of break up all that wave motion, right? So even if it's windy, it might get a bit choppy, but I don't think it's gonna be like rough waters like up here. You know, at least I don't think it would be.
I don't know how oceans work fully yet.
I don't either. So I'm just...
We're just speaking out of our butts.
Yeah,
so.
I'm just guesstimating, but you know, but I mean, like, there was that one time we were out, there really wasn't any wind, but there was crazy waves. It probably was more current swell than anything.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the second time we went out. Remember that? It was like super rough.
Yes, and that's where we were like, ooh.
Yeah, we're like, oh no. So
our second time by ourselves.
You know, and you know, we were talking with someone. He's like, "Well, the waters out here, they can be a bit challenging. They're not difficult. They're just challenging, and it's just learning." And you know, I mean, we barely had the boat for a year, so you know, to be honest, I don't know how much people here really even go out. It doesn't seem like really all that much.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's one of the negatives of being up here. It's like you could go out and see the same shit every day, but
it's also very safe, very friendly. Everyone.
Oh yeah,
it's a very calm vibe over here, and we are gonna miss it. But we were just saying yesterday after talking about the dream how, like, you know, we're excited to be around more people.
Yeah,
like, we're in a very small town, and
it does get kind of feeling like isolated.
Yeah.
Like almost like a ghost town sometimes.
Yes.
Like we'll be walking and there's like no one.
one.
We're like, okay, did like something happen or like what's going on?
It's just so, it's been nice to see and just experiencing that type of
and I guess
living,
to have that peace.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're used to where we're from is insanity. You know,
not New York City insanity,
but just crazy. You know,
Yeah.
people everywhere and not really safe to walk.
You're never not seeing like a car.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're excited. We're excited to start that chapter whenever that may be. Hopefully next spring or summer.
Yeah, fingers and toes, right? Fingers and toes.
And we want to kayak.
It'd be so much fun.
Sea kayaks. Massive things. What else? Did you have a couple things you wanted to touch on? You were thinking about earlier?
Oh, it was just I think we might start like a sailing tech segment.
For your green.
For my green to you know, I know there's a couple I think YouTubers and stuff do it. But you know, it's kind of one of those things of like it makes my green happy to talk about, you know, just technology or just like even like it could even be if it's not about new tech, like something, you know, we've done on the boat or stuff like that, you know. So
what have you seen like lately?
Electric motors are starting to become more popular.
That's good.
Which is really good. It, you know, gets away from the whole diesel you know, diesel and gas trend. You know, I mean, I could really see like electric outboards. I mean, they're really starting to take off.
Are they coming down in price?
A little bit. I mean, they're about comparable to like if you were to buy a new outboard, they're about the same price.
Okay.
Um,
Like how many horse?
so like the one I think I was looking at, it's by is it E Propulsion? I think it's equivalent to a 4 horsepower, 3 horsepower, 4 horsepower motor. Um,
Okay.
so and the big thing about electric, they're light. They're super light. Like you can pick them up with one hand and put it up on the boat, and where like with an outboard, I've seen fail videos of people going and what stepping down in their dinghy and they go to take the outboard off the off the rail and it's too heavy and they drop it in the water or like they just and that's why a lot of people will like even like Rick does this. He keeps his outboard like on his dinghy all the time because he doesn't have to haul it out and
Yeah.
but that's not good for it either, sitting in the nasty marine salt water.
Yeah.
So
God.
I think the big thing is battery technology. I think is what really is going to take it off when we have highly efficient but small batteries. Like lithium is like a great step, but
And we have our lithium batteries.
but and we have our lithium batteries. I turned the charger off last night or yesterday. We're still at like almost full capacity. Like we barely used any. But I think that's gonna be the key with like the electric outboards is being able to have the same range that you would get out of like a gas outboard. And then there's the speed difference too. I mean 3-4 horsepower, it's not really gonna push you very fast.
Yeah.
It'll probably get you up on plane, but it's not gonna get you as fast as an outboard.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole electric motor for sailboats too. I mean, that's really started to take a big, the technology is just improving just every day, every month. There's new stuff coming out. I mean, if anybody on here follows Sailing Uma, like they have an all electric, they have a all electric sail drive now actually. So before they had. It was actually a forklift motor. Or it was a electric motor out of a forklift that they DIY'd and put in place of their motor. And now they've switched it and they have a sail drive that attaches to the bottom of their boat. And they basically, with their setup, they have unlimited range because they have, I forget how much solar they have a pretty decent amount of solar. And it keeps their batteries topped up all the time, and it's enough to when they need to use their motor, they don't worry about it because they can run their motor pretty much forever.
Wow.
And they're able to, I mean, they've been sailing around the world for 8 years now, 9 years now, and it's just crazy, where they've gone. I mean, they've gone into the Arctic Circle.
All on electric and solar.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And it's really good. It's really good that the price is comparable, at least for the outboards.
The outboards.
That's a great step.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of is for like electric replacements too. It's starting to get up there. It's about comparable to like if the diesel were to die, it'd probably be maybe a little bit more expensive than like getting it rebuilt or like getting like a new one.
That money.
But then you're saving all that money that you're gonna spend on diesel.
Yes. Oh my god.
You're saving all that in electric power. I mean, you would rip this motor out, rip the tank and everything out back there. That could become more battery storage for the motor. The big thing would be solar, but
there's so much space that is taken up by like things having to do with a gas motor.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like, oh man, that's really cool. We have one more story before we go.
Okay.
The dinosaur story. You can
Yes.
tell it.
We have not told this yet.
I've told a couple of my friends, sorry if this will be a repeat, you can skip and say bye.
So, for, I guess, people that don't live in the north, because blue herons aren't common.
Oh, they're not?
I don't think down south. No,
Oh.
I think they're more of a northern bird.
Oh.
We had them in New York.
Look it up. They're
never
big.
really saw one up close. Never just thought anything about it. And we have blue herons around here.
On the docks.
Yeah, on the
all
dock.
Over. They eat the seagulls, the baby seagulls, like the eagles do.
They sound like pterodactyls. They literally sound like pterodactyls. So this was a couple weeks ago.
It was the Mariners Festival.
It was
weekend.
the Maritime Festival weekend. 2 weeks, 3, whatever. Time just blends. I remember that 4:00 in the morning, she wakes me up and she's like, "What the heck is that?"
What the fuck?
I'm like, "What do you?"
We have our hatch open.
You know, what do you?
Like
what
slightly
do you
in the
know?
rebirth.
What do you mean? And you just hear something like the boat shaking. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh, God.
And I kind of peek my head out the hatch.
Well, wait, I heard like a footstep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. We're like
right
what
above
the
us.
heck? And we have our hatch like cracked. And I kind of peek my head up and I'm like looking out the hatch and all I see is legs.
Legs!
Just like bird legs and just like the like very like bottom of the heron. Right? And it's not saying anything, it's just standing there.
Dark. It's dark out.
And it's freaking dark in that thing. And I'm like, what the heck? How the heck are we gonna get this thing off the boat? She's freaking out, thinks it's gonna poke its head in the hatch and like try to eat us or something. So I'm kind of like tapping on the cabin top a little bit. That didn't really do anything. It just kind of stood there. And then I moved my pillow and it made like a rustling, like weird noise that it must not have liked. And it just flies off.
You don't even hear it.
We didn't even feel it fly off.
Yeah. No.
It was just gone.
It shook the whole boat when
Yeah.
it landed, but...
You hear it fly off and it's just like...
Poof.
Oh,
It's like
gone.
a fairy.
Okay. And then... I know you were awake for a little while.
I was awake for like an hour. I wanted to close the hatch, but it would have been... We didn't want to. I was just so scared that one was going to like come back in.
I was just scared it was going to come in, but just like squawk and just like scare the ever living
hit our
hell
freaking
out
head
of
on the
us.
ceiling.
Yeah. Because like we've heard it when they end up like in the boathouses behind us and it's freaking loud in there. I'm like,
it echoes.
yeah.
And we just saw one going up to the bathroom this morning.
Yeah.
Like scared
Yeah,
the crap out of me.
there was one on the end of the dock last night.
I wanted to go down there and try and
Chase it. It'll probably turn around and eat you.
Yeah, that's not fun. They're
So,
cool, but
wildlife. It's a thing.
And then we've heard about like seals. They come and like
harbor
hang
seals
out.
up on the dock and stuff.
I want to see one so bad.
Yeah.
Our neighbors' cats, they'll just like stare at each other.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll like let them get like too close almost. They're like, I'm gonna eat them. What are they gonna do?
But yeah, and then like the eagles, I think they're done. We asked our neighbors if they'd seen them, and she was like, "Well, the babies are kind of grown, so they're not really able to like."
They're not
get
trying
around."
anymore.
So that stinks. At least we got to see a bunch.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, I think
That's about it.
that's about it for now. That's all, folks.
What we got?
Oh, and Air, the movie Air with Matt Damon
Go
about Michael
watch it.
Jordan. Yeah, it
It's
was
good.
really good on Prime. If you have it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Toodaloo.
Add our commercials. Don't forget.